close game throughout, and then they sort of ran away with it at the end. What did you feel sort of left you guys toward the end there?
Well, I just think for the game, the strategy coming into this was defend the three-point line. Drop. We played a different on ball than we normally play to send them into the paint and take away the three ball, and then the alternative to that was switching, and the first half we were ahead and we did a pretty good job there. The second half, for whatever reason, all hell broke loose, and it's just a consistency of effort and getting contribution from everybody. So again, we had a few times on the road now we're there, and then certain groups just haven't meshed yet together on the defensive side of the ball or the offensive side of the ball. And tonight, foul trouble with X, who's an important ball carrier, and Bull, who's an important defender, and guys got physically worn. And then the second aspect of it was turnovers against their pressure, and I thought we did a pretty good job of that tonight. Under 10 we've been under 7 for most of the year, but under 10 against them at the pace that's being played was pretty good. And then the third was the rebounding, and they got us there. So I was. It took me back how well they shot the ball and how well Sobey's shooting the ball. I thought. They ran some good stuff and got him shots, but also thought they made some really tough shots. And the big fella Hunter hit a couple key ones that opened up, and it was hard to come back from. Kind of broke our spirit. But the league's challenging. We're there for 3 quarters, kind of like Melbourne. We're there, and we end up losing by 16, 17 points. We just got to get more contribution from more bodies. And the defensive side of the ball, we scored 95, and we didn't play that well on the offensive end of the floor, but we did score enough points to win.
You speak about the three-point shooting from them in the second half especially. Do you have an idea yet, before you look at the film, of what you put that down to, whether it's a connection thing or whether it's you guys just not executing your coverage, or what do you put that down to?
I thought the coverages were a step off, and it was a different, maybe it's a different coverage than we've been playing. We've been up on them, and we played more drop back and wanted them in the paint shooting those shots, and it was a step too low, and on the switches a step off, a step late. And again, the foul factor, who is contributing tonight, our thing got real tight, and I did think late in the game fatigue became a factor. The longer it went, the worse it got for us. We were there for, till about the middle or early fourth quarter, and then it's like we're in trouble here.
Where do you feel you are in the process of Delhi and Kendrick, and those two playing alongside each other, and then how best to stagger them as well? Where are you in the process of finding the sweet spot there?
I think we're good. I think we're a lot better. We weren't playing well without Delhi on the floor. We are now, and we're also offensively doing better together without KD on the floor. Tonight, the linkage in all of that is Xavier, and Brown is a unique dude. And so, the advantage of always flipping it to him and having a typical 4, he's not. He's a beast defensively, and he's, his skill package has enough, because we just keep the court spread for X and let him go. And he is the one guy in the league that can contain. And I thought his influence on the game, outside of what we've just talked about, Sobey and Foxwell, the shooting, but that aspect of neutralizing Xavier had a big effect on the score as well. But this stuff comes fast and furious. We got another one, Hobart. I think the road's tough, and we just got to figure out a better way to do it. A consistent job on the defensive end of the floor. The on-ball is huge. We're small. The rebounding's huge. And in our losses, the score line has been outside of the opening game of the season, the scoreline's been pretty similar. Melbourne, Hobart, 14 points, 15 points, and the teams are at 100. And the ones that we've won, we've grinded out and won by 22, won by 24, won by 18. So, it's just that side of the ball is huge for us.
Gorge, where do you think you sit with the physicality on things at times that look like South East Melbourne just managed to get on top in the physical stakes? They were quite up and in. How did you find you guys stood up to that?
No, I thought, as you look at the game, the competitive spirit of the team, I was really proud of, diving on the ball. I thought the effort and the physical side of it, we didn't back off. We were on it. I just thought the wearing factor of numbers, just constantly rotating 3, 4. Now they've added another import, another body. So you're going bigger, longer, and that's the challenge. But I didn't think in any way we backed off. And I thought the spirit of the team was good. They're disappointed. It's what we haven't won this kind of one yet. Like to turn the corner. You win 2 out of 3, 2 good teams, and you come into this game, and this is the one that ignites you. And we had a little opportunity earlier in the year, and we haven't been able. So there's disappointment. But I did think we battled.
What's the step that you need to take to win these ones? How does that change?
Well, I mean, the things that we talked about, the challenge of rebounding the ball is a big one for us, because we're the size factor in this, in our number, it's a real challenge. And then, maybe, the defense we've talked about, a little more ball movement, probably a little bit too quick. And I do think, the answer to the question before, I do think Delhi and KD are playing better together and playing without each other better. And I do think we're doing some stuff better offensively. But we, at times, maybe a little quick, maybe a little more through hands. And I don't think that's for most teams in the league. If they miss tonight, you're talking about it different, when we're hitting shots. But we didn't put the ball in the hole, and, we were in a battle, so maybe we could have got the ball from side to side just a little more. I think that'll come.
Brian, how did you find the officiating tonight? Do we want to be seeing 5 players fouling out of the game?
Well, my point now, lessons learned, I was out of line, and I honestly, through the course of the season, we got to the foul line 43 times. I didn't think they were a factor in the game. And I've really I'm emotional, and I'm into the game. And now and then, just like coaches' calls, players make mistakes. If they make one, you're kind of on it. But I thought tonight they called a good game, fair game, and I don't think they had any influence on the result. I thought they did a good job.
How about just in terms of the flow of the game, though?
Well, I mean, as been pointed out, I think they've got to call fouls, and I thought it was, a lot of grabbing, a lot of holding. You got 2 teams picking up 3/4 court, and both teams are fairly athletic and long, and both teams kind of had a nasty to each other. There was kind of words being said and confrontation. So I thought there was it was a difficult game to referee. It was physical.
Brian, I'm not sure if you've had a look at how closely you've looked at the stats yet, but South East Melbourne had 41 bench points tonight compared to your 14. What went wrong for your second unit out there, and how do you plan on fixing that?
Well, I think, like we said, certain groups playing together, and we're a new group, and I like when you look at groups of 5, there's not a lot of them playing together yet as a group, and as you've said, in these games we lose, certain ones haven't clicked, and it's been different groups according to the game. But tonight we had We didn't get great contribution from guys that we have been getting really good contribution from in the wins. And certain groups, like I said, just looked uncomfortable together under the pressure. And I thought, you know, the last piece on that is Xavier Cooks. When he's always that guy in a group that you can put the ball in his hands, and he makes all those other guys better when you're in that situation. And tonight he was in foul trouble, and Brown was, you know, really something to deal with. So what you're talking about, I thought that was a big factor in it.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.